Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be doing, get this, it's been a while, a scored review. And this one is going to be on Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster. Now, this game was developed by Square Enix and published by Square Enix, which kind of makes sense if you think about it. They've handled all their publishing. Now, before I get started, if you are liking this kind of content, along with the walkthroughs and the co-op tag team live streams and co-op live streams I do with my buddy Johnny Blaze 328, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, for my scored reviews, I score based on 5 categories, which is the story, the graphics, the music and sound effects, the gameplay and controls, and the achievements, since this is the Xbox version. Now, for the graphics, this is an updated version of the old NES style 8-bit look, which, if you're into the pixel look, it's very well done. It definitely gives you the nostalgic feel of the old way that the game looked. They've done a great job with the backgrounds, and they've updated the battle so the graphics look a little cleaner and a little more detailed, which, I mean, the details on the pixels themselves, there's only so much you can do to that without completely altering it altogether. They did an amazing job with spells and some of the in-game effects from bosses or the storyline. So, I mean, all in all, they did a great job with that part of the game. The story, well, it's an upgrade compared to the first one. If you played the original first one, there really wasn't any story aside from the prologue and then the end of the game. But when they did the Pixel Remaster and some of the previous ones, they actually sprinkled in a little more story. This one had a full-on story from the get-go, and they really redone the story so that it made more sense. Because the original version, the story... Well, actually, initially the Americans did not get Final Fantasy II. The Final Fantasy II we got was the Super Nintendo 4. So, all in all, they did, promote the story for the game. And it's about a rebellion against an evil empire that's hell-bent on taking over the world / destroying it. I mean, it's classic good versus evil kind of thing. Very cliche with a lot of twists and turns. So, I mean, the story's okay. Now, for the music and sound effects, just like in the first game, they did an amazing job with updating the sound of weapons and spells and, like, different sound effects that occur in the game. And the update that they did to the music is phenomenal. Not gonna lie. Final Fantasy, not just Final Fantasy, Square Enix music in general is almost always top-notch. There's been very few games in the franchise that I've had any kind of disappointment with the music and sound effects. Now for the gameplay and controls. For the controls, I'll start with that. It's a very simple turn-based RPG, so there really isn't a whole lot that you're controlling other than moving around and selecting your options in battle. Now, this game did include I guess it's an ask, learn, present kind of thing that allow you to interact with the story more. But I mean, there's not a whole lot there for that. Now, the gameplay overall is very simple. It's all pretty much your stereotypical turn-based RPG, with the exception of this is the first, and if I remember correctly, because I haven't played through all the way up to 16, I've stopped at 15, but I don't think 16 had it either. This is the only one that has a well, it's basically the Saga Frontier if you've played that upgrade system where you keep using sword, axe, whatever, you level up with that skill. The more you take damage, the more HP you get, the more MP you use, the more MP you get, stuff like that. In theory, it's a good system, but it will put off most of the players who want a traditional level up system. I have beaten this game 2 times. Once back on the Anthology for the PlayStation because I never got to play through it, and then once on this one. And thank God they incorporated the speed up feature for skills and stuff to help those who do not want to sit through grinding. Now, for people like me, I didn't mind because I played the whole game with normal. I even turned off the gradual HP increase just from winning fights, just to give me the old Final Fantasy II feel. This is probably my least favorite Final Fantasy, but after playing it on the Pixel Remaster, I like it a little more. I would like to see Square Enix go back and add remove the additional content that was in like the PSP versions. I would love to see Final Fantasy 1 have the Dawn of Souls, and the Final Fantasy 2 have Dawn of Souls content replaced, and the extra dungeons and stuff like that. And the same thing with 3, 4, 5, and 6. But I mean, even if they did it as DLC, I wouldn't mind paying for it because those added a lot of replay value. But just as the game it is now, it's not bad gameplay wise. Now for the achievements, this was just like Final Fantasy 1. It's simple grind out ones like leveling up, or not leveling up, killing monsters, and then there's like finding like 10, 50%, 100% of items, monsters in the game, some of which, this game is the first one they included. Some monsters cannot be found except for in very specific dungeons or at certain points on the map before certain events occur. If it's on the world map, then just bear in mind that once you complete the tower for the Ultima Tome, all the monsters on the world map change. I know I put that in the walkthrough in the notes comment section, or not comment section, the additional information at the bottom in the description of the Tower of Ultima. So for those of you who are looking for all the monsters, I do have a full showcase that shows, if you're following the story, the earliest point that you can come across the monsters. So if you are fighting, if you're picking up any of them from the world map, know that it does change after Ultima Tower. Most of the achievements in the game are either the grindy collect this, do this, collect all the monsters, collect all the items, which some of the items can be missed too. And then there's story-based ones, and then one for the side quest of attaining Excalibur, which is ironic because if you're in the final dungeon, you can also obtain Excalibur from the Iron Giant, which is, if you're not fully leveled up, it is a very tough enemy. I didn't have any problems with it though. So, with that all things said, I score a game 5 out of 10 instead of the industry standard of 7 out of 10 for average. And this particular Final Fantasy, with the increased graphics and the better fine-tuned process that they put into this game to make it a bit more streamlined and smooth. As much as I liked it, I'm only going to give this one a 6 out of 10. While, yes, it has a decent story with some nice twist in it. The graphics are very well done, the music's great, and the gameplay, the music and sound effects are great, and the gameplay and controls are great, simple though. And the gameplay itself, while not as hard as the originals, can turn people off from the grinding. Now I know there's people out there that really love this game, but like I said, 6 out of 10. I mean, it's still slightly above average. I think I've only came across one game that I've rated below average, and that was, I think, not Crossout. I don't remember. It was the first-person shooter by Remedy Games. And the only thing that one had going for it was the graphics. So, 6 out of 10. And as I always say, with all things gaming, game logic. Am I right? I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.